to, but if you want to, you feel free.
Yeah, I want to just boom.
Yeah, of course.
Just boom.
Yeah. Just boom. Just boom. Boom, we're live.
Boom. Okay.
I even did the stupid hand for like the point. Yeah. Boo. Because I'm such a gangster, you know.
Chat. I haven't seen you in forever. Show up. You have 11 minutes. I just spit all over myself.
Always with 11 minutes.
11 minutes. Oh, checking Facebook. Whoops, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing.
At least I'm actually doing my job and checking what needs to be checked.
Oh, my app needs to be updated.
Is that why we're buffering that much?
I'm not buffering at all. Might be your connexione.
It's possible, yeah.
Because I'm not getting an alert, and I'm not getting buffering on my two visuals.
Definitely my connection then, because it's been really weird.
But chat, should you join us, let us know.
My Wi-Fi.
My Wi-Fi.
So I just said my Wi-Fi. We're clearly live. So.
Yeah, and I heard sound. I didn't check my. Hey, it's Nana. Feels like I haven't been here forever. Nana, let us know if the sound's okay. Oh, I'm gonna turn my fan off. Crazy, but you like that.
I think it's because my phone signal's bad as well. Yeah, there we go. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear. We're good.
Whoa.
Keep that open just to be sure.
Yes, goody.
All right. Thank you, Nana. Thanks.
I should reverse my image though, so it looks like I'm looking at you instead of away from you. Let me
It's
flip.
Fine. I'm sure it's fine.
Flip horizontal.
I guess that's some sort of Welsh for hello. From Mike.
I'll say hello,
Mr. Overlord.
I'll say hello in my native language. Howdy, y'all.
Next time, can you do it without the gun? That's a real Texan.
These guns are never illegal.
I meant the pistol.
I'm sad because I'm losing them because I haven't worked out in a month. It's just so sad.
Speaking of guns, Alec Baldwin, you know.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, I know. That was just good afternoon, yeah. Thank you, Mike. How you doing, mate?
Yay!
How is everyone in chat today?
Yes, let's
on
know
Chatty
how
Land?
you are. I'm going to drink while you chat.
Yes. Of course you're going to drink.
Of course I am.
It's a Sunday. It wouldn't be a Sunday without you drinking.
The most holy.
Man, that glass seriously needs a clean.
It's clean. It's pink.
It's got fingerprints all over.
I know it's my because I have makeup on my hands.
Oh, right, okay.
It makes it all cloudy and stuff. And then when I start drinking, it's gonna have lipstick around the thing. It's like, wow, Kylie, really?
Oh, of course.
But yeah, I got some free prosecco. 2 bottles of it. I don't even drink prosecco.
That's for your hosting last night, right?
No, it was the day before, wasn't it? It's Friday, right?
Day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm losing
They
track
all
of
run
days,
together
right?
for me.
But I've had the nieces and nephew over like the last couple of days, so I now know what it feels like to be a tired parent.
Oh goodness. Oh, Mike, if you're still there, what do you think about that?
Kill me. I'm not sure I want kids now. I'm joking. I want kids.
I'm hopefully not going to burp in the microphone. I apologize if I do. I have not.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't, because it comes through on my end really loud.
Man, now I really want to do like a really loud one.
No, because I've done that to someone on a phone call before, and it was hilarious. But it wasn't nice.
I have not been on a podcast, on streaming. I did do the hosting gig, but in 4 weeks, I have not been performing for 4 weeks. That's crazy to me.
Oh, I know. It's madness, but...
Well, in a way.
Good to see you back.
Because here's what I'm thinking. But I've been 2 years in isolation, so I actually haven't been at my normal performing level anyway. Ugh.
Oh, might help if I actually put tweet out. Sorry.
Oh yes, do that.
Can you do the Discord then?
Technically, I
Oh, you
did.
already did. Yeah. Okay, you preempted it. Fine.
Yep. Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, I didn't actually, because I really wanted to, but I couldn't because I was helping out at home with the kids, and I didn't have the money to go either.
I saw the pictures coming
Did
out of it, and it made me feel so bad. People
it
are
looks? Go on.
people are paying so much money to be with their like Tom Hiddleston, and
Wow,
they can't even stand next to him. There's a plexiglass.
that's really disappointing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get why they're doing it. Like, it's totally logical. I get it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I could. I probably wouldn't pay those prices anyway. But yeah. And chat, as you show up, let us know if you went to Amsterdam, London.
Yeah.
They stopped coming to Belfast even before the pandemic.
Yeah, I noticed that, and it was quite disappointing.
They pulled out of Belfast.
Oh, did they?
I can make so many jokes.
Oh, so did I, and I had to stop myself.
You had to pull out of that joke. It's good to be back. I have really put on a lot of weight too. But all things are correctable.
Yep. I used to be a nice person before I met you. I wonder how many people really believe that, though.
Oh, probably. I don't know. I was going to say nobody, but then they also know me. So they're probably like, oh, 50-50. I actually...
No, I was bad before I met you.
I just made it more audible.
Yeah.
I actually, we have yearbooks. I don't know if you have something similar over here. Like,
have what? Sorry.
Yearbooks, which is like your.
Oh yeah, we don't.
School really photos and stuff like that. Well, one of my friends signed it with "Thank you for corrupting my innocence," and that was like my senior year in high school. So I haven't.
Was
changed.
That Lynn by any chance?
No, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure Lynn said something like "Love you like a sister" or something like that. But no, this was a young man, a very young man. He was a freshman, but while I was a senior. His name was James.
Wow,
I bet he listens. James Boggs, here's a shout out to you if you're listening. I still remember your message in my yearbook. But
oh my god, that's brilliant.
What?
Chloe's put up pictures of her Halloween stuff with Millie yesterday.
Aww.
And her partner Jordan went as Mermaid Man, and it's brilliant.
Oh my gosh!
That's so good.
I want friends that'll play dress up with me. Alright, is that on Twitter?
Yeah, I'll send you the link quick.
Oh, I will be making a post later where I will be tagging Chloe and Sophie, and it's Chloe and Sophie that play Dead by Daylight, right? Sorry,
Chloe and Millie.
I'll tag Millie too. I mean, technically she's not rapper. It doesn't matter.
I'm sure Sophie has also gone in, played with them too.
Well,
there you go. I posted it in our chat, by the way.
Excellent. I'll be sending a couple of viewers their way because someone asked me if I played Dead by Daylight. But I'll explain all that on Twitter because a GIF goes with it.
Okay.
So I said, but the answer was, I don't, but these people do. Go watch their channels.
Oh, good.
I'm sweating. It's so warm here.
Nana put, and I cannot repeat one of the words, I effing hate Dead by Daylight. Nana put, my school actually did year 11 yearbooks, but I never got one. I'm sure it was as the years have gone by, they have sort of embraced more Americanisms in schools over here.
They started doing proms over here, like our proms, not like your guys' version of proms, like ours.
Oh man.
What?
I've just seen something on Twitter, and I know I shouldn't be searching Twitter
Yes!
right now. I literally just put the tweet out.
Some things
but
never change.
yes, but a weekly Smash Brothers tournament that I used to go to is going on this week, and I'm like,
All right.
oh, I'm really gonna go.
Well, we're gonna have
It
our
always
own.
It always happens on Sunday, and I could never go.
We're gonna have our own with hookers and
I know.
blackjack.
In fact, forget the Smash Brothers tournament.
What do we got? One more minute. One more minute.
Uno
momento. Por favor.
Yeah. Yes.
Por favor. I used to. I forgot. I forgot.
What? Oh, what?
I'm looking in the mod actions. That like that's listed our past ones. I forgot that Chloe had said she loved the movie Klansman, or that it was like great or whatever.
Oh.
And I had to permit the word Klansman.
Oh, we were talking about the film Black Klansman.
Yep.
Yeah. That was actually on TV the other day, and I was tempted to watch it again, but I was like, oh yeah, I've watched this like 4 times already. I probably shouldn't.
What? What is?
Uh-oh.
When did I add hipster Hitler?
Oh, thank God. Sorry, your video froze on my end. And I was like, oh God. Right, yeah, so.
There's some crazy ones there. Anyway.
Like what?
Hipster Hitler, where did that come from?
Oh my God, I don't
remember
know.
that. I know where honkies came from. That was
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Let's see. That's it. In the last, it says month, which I'm pretty sure that was more than a month ago.
I cannot help this casual racism that comes from our audience sometimes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh.
But I mean, considering that you once was known as the casual racist, just for no particular reason other than it was funny.
It was actually no reason. Yeah, like I'm like so like. Racism is important to me in any form, but it is fun. I think it's a funny joke. That reminds me. Anyway, we'll talk about all that after we start the show.
Yeah, right. So let me start this recording device. Have you got a backup going just in case?
Oh, no. Let's do that.
I guess the Twitch stream could be that.
Yeah, because I think we're going good.
Yeah, we should be for the moment. Maybe adding an extra thing on there might not help. So
yeah, I'm actually a little bit nervous to do that for that exact reason.
Okay then. Well, let me start this, and then I can count you in for your. Oh, by the way, obviously you might not have heard last week's episode if you did, but did you hear that I channeled the inner you with the intro?
Oh gosh, no, I have it in my playlist for when I get my rower next week.
Okay, well. The intro was a you intro. I definitely took it, and I had to.
Nice. Did you say welcome? Excellent.
I did, because even though you weren't there, you had to be there in some way.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, right, I'm going to start recording now.
Yes.
So say nothing incriminating, or if you want to, you can. It's up to you. Right. So are we going to start the show?
Yes. But you have to count me down.
Okay. I know. I was just waiting for your confirmation. So we're going to start the show in 3, 2.
Welcome to episode 99 of Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. I am your co-host, who is well into her glasses of Prosecco. Notice I said glasses. And I am joined by my co-host, who is quite sober, Pete Beckett.
Yep, I'm always sober. Boring me. Hello.
Howdy. So, Pete, we have a lot to catch up on.
We have far too much to catch up on.
I have disappeared for 4 weeks, but I have a reason. But let's not address that yet. Let's have some fun first.
Sure.
Oh, so someone's asking if I want to be famous.
Okay, I'm killing that immediately.
Get that banhammer. No, I do not want to be famous. I would like to be the partner of someone famous. So, what was I going to say? Oh, Pete, how was your week?
My week's been very, very interesting, very intense, let's say,
Intensio. Uh-huh.
and very fatiguing, but for good reasons. So,
Right.
first of all, I've had my nieces and nephew stay over for the weekend, and that's been an entertaining one, but I am absolutely exhausted. But the main thing that happened is that I've been on a course for work for the last 2 weeks, which
Yes.
completed. I completed session 4 this week, which means that I am now a qualified mental health first aider.
That is pretty freaking dang awesome. I'm not allowed to cuss, it's Sundays.
I know,
That, well,
but it
it's
is.
for our audience, but it is, like, dub in your own forceful words there, because, Pete, that is quite the accomplishment. I
Yeah.
know that is something you've been attempting to do and wanting to do well before the pandemic. Because I remember
Oh
you
yeah.
talking about it.
You
Yeah,
know. You know us. Like we've obviously like very, very heavily focused on mental health.
absolutely.
And all of that. As a site, Rapid Reviews very much is as well,
Mm-hmm.
and the association with like mental health charities like Safe in Our World.
Yeah.
So I wanted to contribute in some way and to society, especially my workplace and to the site. So when the opportunity arose to join this course, I jumped at it. You know, so it's not going to mean much,
I was
obviously,
gonna
but
say, tell us a
it,
little
it
bit
mean
about it.
what the course itself
No,
intense.
well, yeah, I'm sure it is. Um,
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that we touched on that was very intense,
mm-hmm.
obviously, to do with various afflictions like suicide and
Oh, yeah,
depression, behave like lots of stuff to do with behavior and
right.
yeah, to do with disorders, and that was fun having
That
to
would be
listen
very
to them
heavy.
talking about bipolar and
Oh, yeah,
schizophrenia and things like that, which was very fun.
yeah.
But determining the difference between them is actually quite difficult, but it is quite
Really?
interesting to know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what it means is that obviously, if people are having struggles at work, then I can like if they feel like they want to reach out to someone, then I can help. I can help out. But the one thing that I did learn, and this is something that I've always been quite guilty of doing, and this is
Mm-hmm.
quite interesting to know as a mental health first aider, is giving advice. You actually shouldn't give advice. You should only listen,
Right.
which is which now makes me want to do the whole Fraser Crane thing. Go ahead, I am listening.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They that is something that they on like hotlines and stuff. They
Mm.
really push that you're there to listen.
Yeah, they say it with the Samaritans, which is why they're a non-discussion
Right.
helpline. They literally don't help like in that respect. They just listen to your problems and
Mm-hmm.
try to sort of steer you in a direction, which is fair. I can understand that because we're technically not like fully trained and qualified like professionals,
Right.
but we have some skills available to us that if we wanted to make the step up, we could.
Right.
Which is something I might consider in the future, seeing if this goes well, I might pursue it further.
Yeah,
But we will see from there.
I'm all for that for people. Um.
Yes. So
So
anyway, do
yeah.
you? How's your week been, and how's your last 4 weeks been? Let's say, I
I
guess
will lightly touch on this because I do think that I do think I don't want to say that I owe anything,
you don't owe
but
anyone anything, but if you feel
right,
like you want
but I
to, then you
feel
can.
like yeah. Um, so a couple of weeks ago, um, I my family back in Texas, which I don't have very many. um, my sister found out she is terminal and so has been in hospice. This is a difficult thing for anyone. Um, it's I'm not going to say it's more difficult because you shouldn't measure difficulties against each other, but I am in a different country. A lot of people have asked, are you flying back? Blah, blah. Now, see, I lost my other sister in 2018. And
Sorry, I didn't realize it was that recent.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't fly back then either. Mostly that was due to couldn't afford it, if I'm honest. That was right when I was building up my company, and some of my investments hadn't quite paid off. That didn't hit until 2019.
No, and of course you were spending all your money on setting your business up. You weren't quite in the place to sort of go, right, I could spend like over £1,000
Right.
or
I was also
$2,000 and flying over.
plus I was also renting a room. Gosh.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got a cough. Hold on. uh, so, uh, anyway, so this time around, I'm not going back. It isn't financial reasons. It is purely, the time limit itself is not guaranteed. Time limit, that sounds so terrible. But time frame.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, time frame itself isn't laid out and firm because, I mean, come on. And also, with COVID restrictions, I could get over there because these are like, I mean, it's hospice care, so there's like health workers and stuff. I would feel incredibly guilty were I to show up and infect everyone. So I would take the 2-week chill time.
So you'd force the quarantine period on yourself, even though you wouldn't have to?
Yeah, because it's Texas. They're not enforcing anything. They don't enforce anything.
And it's also the fact that I don't know if it's the same over in Northern Ireland as it is in the UK, but if you're double vaxxed, you don't technically need to do the quarantine period anyway.
I'm not real sure because with Northern Ireland, our rules change frequently. So, and they're thinking of changing them again here in the next week or two. But I said all that boring stuff, and I know I do apologize to our audience. Just to say that that's what's going on. That's where I've been. My head is crazy. I not being able to focus on anything for very long. But having said that, I'm not. How do I say it? You know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I like to have fun and make people smile, and that's what this whole thing is about. Oh, that reminds me. Our Fridays, they will be back. I only have about 3 more weeks on this course, and then we'll be back. And I am looking forward to those. And
I am as well. I'm looking forward to doing something with them again.
And that reminds me again. This is our 99th episode.
I was actually going to address this at the end of the show, but we can address it now if you want.
Okay, it doesn't matter either way. But we'll do this part now, and then we'll like really address it at the end. But I was just gonna say it's our 99th episode, and you know what follows 99 is 100.
It's the big triple digit.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a witty thing, and I just couldn't. See, my brain is just.
I could see
fried.
The cogs.
Yeah, steam coming off my ears or whatever. And we'll talk more about that. I will say this, it's not next week.
Well, that's what I wanted to address more than anything, is that actually we're taking next week off to actually put some plans in place because with everything else that has been going on, we've had to sort of put everything to the background.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even guaranteed that this was like today was even going to happen either. So
that's what I'll leave this, and then we'll go into the fun stuff. It is from here on out, every day is kind of a wait and see. So I can't give any definitive things, but I also am not the type of person to just be sad 24/7. So it may seem erratic if you know me, that sometimes I'll be making sarcastic jokes and other times I'll be quite melancholic. And that's what's going on. But I think that is a perfect opportunity to launch into this week's episode, which I'm dying to talk about anyway. There's a bunch of things that I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, considering that last week, and just I need to address a few things here, by the way.
You sound like you're about to make an apology video.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because
Oh,
I would
yes.
like to, first of all, apologise for one particular thing that had happened with last week's episode. The sound quality.
Yeah.
That was a very unfortunate issue that happened where 2 files were corrupted. I had to do my best to recover as much as I could, and it still came out not great. So, first of all, totally on me. Don't want anyone else blaming anyone else for anything else. It was my bag. I could have worked on it a little bit more to make it a little bit more palatable, but it's a Sunday and I'd already had a long day as is, and I just needed to just get done, and that was all.
I think it got the job done. And also,
it did.
I need to thank Pete, but also Deadbeat and what?
Thank you. You've just stolen my thunder there, because I was just about to do that. Thank you very much. So
sorry.
Anyway, but yes, it shows how well we work together that you could know that I was getting to that anyway. So that's why I said I'll address a couple of points. So I wanted to thank Toby for obviously coming on last week as a guest and helping us discuss EGX. Also wanted to thank him massively for his work that he put together on the EGX article that we did together as well. Also, chill, awesome dude in person, and thanks for obviously hanging out with my sorry ass all day. But yeah, big one goes to Deadbeat Punk, of course, who graciously and very nicely stepped in to take the hosting duties away from myself and Kylie for the week.
He became me.
Well, it was the best alternative because he's from Northern Ireland, you know, so...
That weirdly does work, doesn't it? But he doesn't
That's
have
what I mean, we wanted to keep the
accent.
consistency at least. But, yeah, like, he volunteered to step in and host the show. I thought it was a better option to have him hosting rather than me asking questions and then answering them. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have been great, so... I thought the plan we put together for the episode was a very different one to normal, but it worked very well, and... Right. Most of that was Deadbeat Punk, so thank you very much for putting that all together, because the quick news and the what we've been playing sections were totally down to him.
Awesome.
But it was good. It was very good. So, yeah, very different episode last week, and sorry about the sound quality. But moving forward, we've learned some lessons.
I was going to say, you learn from those mistakes. There's never such thing as bad mistakes. Well, okay, I guess there are bad mistakes, but you learn from them.
Yeah, it's a learning experience. Yes. You know, even though we're 99 episodes in, we still learn. You know, we are technically amateur podcasters, but you know.
I will say this: I don't listen to them anymore, but Mabam Bam is my brother, and me is on their like 600 episode or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. But I used to listen to them early days, so between 100 and 600, they have evolved. I was going to say evolved again. Evolved. They've evolved quite a bit. So, yeah, you make you make mistakes and you learn from them. Okay.
Yeah, and also, you know, massive podcasters out there still have terrible sound quality. Joe Rogan. Sorry, what? Don't sue me.
Oh my gosh. Man, I can't wait. Okay, I will say this one thing, and then we're totally going to move on to video games. But I am just me, and nobody buys me gifts and stuff. Okay, Pete buys me gifts. That's not true.
I showed you that I have.
But I mean, like at Christmas or whatever. It doesn't matter. But so I have to buy myself stuff. That's the point I'm getting at. I'm not asking for gifts. Please don't send me gifts. But I bought myself something.
Oh no.
It's very, very nice.
What did you buy?
I bought a professional commercial rowing machine.
Rowing machine. Yeah, I already knew about this one, but I just wouldn't. Yeah, of course, because you tell me these kinds of things and you tell me not to say anything and then you just tell everyone anyway.
I'm so excited. This means I am definitely breaking the world record when the time comes. Or I'm just going to win everything. Even if I can't break the world record, I'm just going to win everything. Because I'm old now and I'll probably be the only one in some of those competitions.
Well, it doesn't matter. Look, age is just a number. Remember that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you're kicking their butts, then clearly they need to work. They need to train more.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right about that. I am starting to embrace my cougar status. I've been in denial, but I am an old lady. So, it is
No
what
comment.
it is. It is what it is. I accept it. I'm moving on to... I was going to say greener pastures, but I don't think that's what they do. No, you put them out to pasture when they're old. I think it's horses. Could be cows. I might have my metaphors mixed up. I'm autistic, not good at metaphors. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Video games.
Well, that was an aside.
Haven't you guys missed me? I've missed this.
I've missed this too. Look, random asides aside, you know, it is quite funny always, you know.
And hopefully, not putting any pressure on anybody, but hopefully our third musketeer will make an appearance on our 100th episode. But
Fingers crossed, touch
it
wood.
might not
we hope
happen.
so, but we don't know.
He
but
said touch wood.
Oh, don't you start. Don't you start. Because now I need to name the episode this.
Yes, you do. Touched wood.
Kylie is back, everyone. You know, she's back. Thank you, everyone.
Kylie is sad because there's no
bad.
wood to touch.
Yeah, I've just put it in our chat.
my
Okay,
gosh.
if something else comes up, I'm going to change it.
So we
But
have
hey.
spent 20 minutes talking nonsense. But I did.
Yeah.
But I did introduce us and the episode, so I did pretty well considering.
We're on the right track at least. So,
Yeah.
but I'll just quickly read the comments. So we got Twitch bots, and Nana said, "Well done, Pete." So thank you very much for that.
Yes.
And then Brent just put, "Oh no, another apology video." And yes, I do thrive on an apology video. I mean, I didn't do the usual. I screwed up, guys. In a typical YouTube apology fashion, which I should have done. So I apologize for not apologizing correctly.
Oh, and I should probably do my weekly announcement of Call Me Kevin is temporarily back in Ireland visiting his family, and it's awesome.
And that means he's streaming near you again.
Well, yes, and he's been streaming Back 4 Blood, which is hilarious. The night we played Back 4 Blood, he was playing it with Jacksepticeye and a couple of other Irish lads.
I did see that because we follow him obviously on the Rap Reviews Twitch account, and I had it logged in for a little bit, so I getting the notifications.
But I might be biased, but I think that our Back 4 Blood session was a lot more fun and entertaining.
Are you sure? It only lasted 20 minutes.
No, it didn't.
It's what it felt like.
No, it didn't.
Well, it took a while for us to actually get synced up properly.
Don't forget, I had to switch over from...
Yeah, I know, that's what I said, to sync up correctly, because you were lagging, or you were glitching, or whatever you were doing.
I don't know what it is about Back 4 Blood. I can sit here and play Destiny, like all the multiplayer, Crucible, and Strikes, and Gambit, and it's fine. The minute I turn on Back 4 Blood, my connection is like, it just doesn't handle something right. So I have to put it on wired connection. And once I put it on wired connection, it was fine. But
yeah, it was fine, but some of that could have been down to me being a wireless connection as well. It doesn't matter.
I think it was definitely on my end, because as soon as I put it on wired connection, we were fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, shall we get on to some...
We probably should.
Look, it's a news-heavy episode this week, so we're actually going to change the format slightly, in the fact that we've got 3 quick news stories and 3 larger news stories. So let's get into some quick news.
So some quickies.
Rapid news.
Quickies. And some big ones. I'm back, everyone!
Be quiet. I much prefer my rapid news, you know, because it fits in the whole theme.
Sometimes quickies are nice. News quickies. Doesn't always have to be long, hard news.
Elden Ring was delayed. No, so first quick news story is that Elden Ring has now been delayed from the 21st of January to the 25th of February. I know a friend of mine who was not very happy at that until he saw the release date of the 25th of February and went, "Ooh, 2 days after my birthday, perfect. I know what I'm getting."
Oh, goodness.
So, but this was prefaced with the fact that From Software had put out a announcement stating about the delay, but there is a network test coming if you sign up before the 31st of October.
Oh, right. Right.
That network test, I believe, is available on Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC.
Right. Okay.
But it's due to happen in November, which is a bit strange considering that it's now 4 months away from, or 3 months away from release.
Yeah. I think we don't have many episodes left in the year, but I would like to do a roundtable. It's come up before, but on like release dates and stuff, because we are seeing more and more publishers say, "Oh, apologies, we've had to delay."
Yep.
Now, I mean, there's a lot of factors that could be involved with that, but I'm thinking, as a broad question for a roundtable, is it better to overestimate your release date and then do an early release? Or is it better to keep doing these, these way ambitious release dates and then releasing apologies? I personally am kind of tired of the apologies.
Yeah, me too. I'll be honest, I actually like the way that Nintendo do things where they just go, yeah, we're not going to announce any release date until we know it's like 6 months before.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes they don't even let you know that the game is even being worked on until 6 months before they're due to release.
Well, I've said this before. Red Dead Redemption 2. They dropped the announcement like 6 months before it was due to come out. No one really knew. Like, there's some vague rumors. But
we knew stuff. There was leaks, and there was kind of a minor official confirmation from Rockstar themselves about it, but nothing's concrete.
Nothing like Cyberpunk did.
Oof.
Yeah. So,
speaking of Cyberpunk, quickly, the next gen version's been delayed.
Exactly. That's part of why I do want to talk about this pretty soon. Well, I mean, if we have time this year, we'll see. Might have to push
if
it to
not,
January.
then it could be one of the first shows for next year, possibly.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's not going to stop.
No.
It's becoming a thing. And Nana says... Oh, Nana's actually said quite a few things. Pete, you want to go to chat?
Yeah. I do. I just need to get my screen in the right place so I can see it. I caught that the instant you said quickies. Lol. Scarlet Nexus was released like within a year. Did you see my tweet on that? Yes, we did.
Sid.
We did. You have been very vocal about Scarlet Nexus, Nana, and I'm glad because I'm glad that you've been enjoying it. Isn't it on Game Pass now? Because if it is, that's what I said. If it was on Game Pass, I would go and play it. If it's there, I'll go and play it. Please confirm.
I'm just not sure yet how. Like, again, I've said it. I'm gonna keep saying it. The art is beautiful, but I don't think it's my time. I don't know. I'm obsessed with Destiny at the moment.
I just want to try out some more games that have come out this year before the Game of the Year discussion, because I haven't played a lot of new games this year.
Nana says it is now on Game Pass, so yes, Pete, give it a chance. Yeah.
I am going to download it then.
Yeah, I was going to say something, and it's gone. So, Pete, maybe the next news story. It will be recovered. Yeah.
Yes, let's move on to the next news story. They've got some Sony fanboys and fangirls very unhappy for no particular reason other than the fact that God of War has now been announced for release for PC, which is due to release on the 14th of January 2022.
Yep. I'm telling you, like I said this, we had an episode way back. I want to say in August. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Where we talked about Sony being friends with... It was the episode that we talked about Netflix getting into gaming, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Sony being friends with Steam. And a lot of people were like, oh, no, it's just going to be, little minor titles, blah, blah, blah. And then they've dropped God of War. And some people... Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, I started to read Dead Pete's comment, and I was going to be like, oh, no. But then he ended it the right way. Pete, you want to go ahead and read that?
Well, Brent put already time for Gotti episode. Wow. Yeah, I know. A year
Yeah.
flies by crazily quick. Nana put Kylie, you will like. There's a lot of
Deep
deep
philosophical.
philosophical speaking Scarlet Nexus. Sorry, I couldn't see that because of a terrible line on my screen.
Oh, you're tempting
and,
me.
and then Deadbeat Punk, but Jim Ryan is the best thing to happen to Steam in years. And yes, he is. Because Lord Gaben hasn't done a lot for Steam over the last 10 years, has he?
I mean, that's for sure. But that's a whole nother show. I was like, what's his name that did God of War? I know he didn't do
Corey
this.
Barlog.
Yeah. He tweeted about how excited he was, and I was excited for him. But then I read the comments because I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently, and there's a lot of people upset about this, and I don't know
because
why.
they feel it devalues the PlayStation brand and owning
Exclusive.
the console being exclusive and all that sort of thing. But I
So
don't think it does. It actually enables more options for people to be able to play them.
It does.
Which means more sales, which means further budget for big titles that they will get eventually. So shut the hell up, PlayStation fanboys, you're idiots.
It's like people don't see the long game. You have to see the long game, the big picture.
Yeah.
But
You do, but they clearly don't. I did really like Corey's tweet as well, in the fact that someone had pointed it out to him. It was like, maybe I am Kojima now. And it's like, because he said, there's no plans for it to come to PC, and that was a couple of months back.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not as powerful as Kojima, and then he's like, maybe I am powerful as Kojima now.
That was good.
I'm still holding on to my theory, which was far out, but seems a little less far out now, that Sony is going to put their PSP and Vita games on Steam. They already have some, but that was my theory back then. Even more stronger.
Okay. Look, I think the test in the waters at the moment, you could be right eventually in a couple of years' time.
I'm always
like you said, the whole long-term thinking could be a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already put it wasn't Sony, but it was Atlas who obviously put Persona 4 Golden onto Steam, which was notorious for being a PS Vita game, I believe. So it has happened.
Exactly.
I just don't see like Uncharted, the Golden Abyss, or things like that going to Steam.
If Steam, who has wanted to get into the hardware business, puts out a handheld.
Oh wait, they already are.
I mean, they're trying.
What, you mean the Steam Deck?
Yeah. It needs some work.
Yeah, of course it needs some work. It's got terrible. It looks like it's gonna have a terrible battery life on it, but
it needs a lot of work.
It's fine. It's fine.
At least it's not the Ouya.
No, it's not.
But
that wasn't a portable console though. That was just a brick. That was just a tiny little cube with an Android. Like, it was just an Android device anyway. But anyway, there was a story that's not on the document I want to move on to because I just want a quick discussion on it.
Quickies.
God. Anyway, the Uncharted movie trailer that came out the other day.
I'm happy to talk about that for many reasons.
Go ahead. So, what did you think?
Well, let's start by embracing my cougarness and saying that I'm a fan of Tom Holland. Yeah. I almost said Hiddleston.
He looks like he's old enough to be your son.
Don't gross me out. And to be fair, he's starting to age quite a bit.
Yes, he is, but he still looks about 12.
No, he looks like he's about 27 or 28, which is
he's
pushing
20,
the
he's
limits
20,
for me.
I think he's 23. I think he's 23.
You know what's funny? Guys, just go with it because I'm drinking a lot and I haven't got to talk to y'all in forever. But you know what's funny? So I've developed this obsession with this C-drama called Word of Honor. And the lead character, who's Ghost King, he's so pretty.
Okay.
He's like 30, and I don't feel gross for the first time ever. Yeah, somebody legal.
Good.
But anyway, back to Tom Holland.
Thoughts about the actual trailer, not what Tom Holland looks like?
Yeah, and no, but that's part of it. That's a huge part of it. There is a fan-made video with Nathan Fillion, who, in everyone's mind, I mean, I'm
He's
making a
Nathan Drake.
broad stroke here, but yeah, it was Nathan Drake. Or even, is it...
Sully?
No, but that would work too. What's the guy's name that did the voice of him?
No, North.
Nolan North. I could not. I get him and the other one confused all the time.
You mean Troy Baker?
Yeah, I flip them back and forth constantly, and
Yeah.
that's bad because I'm like all into. Well, I used to be all into voice actors and stuff. So when they showed this version, and obviously it's a prequel, it's kind of like...
I don't know if it is really, but we'll get into that proper.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch as Sully, and that just don't look right.
No, it doesn't, and also I'm pretty sure that it was devoid of the Funky Bunch there, just some Marky Mark.
Just some Marky Mark. I don't know. Tom Holland... Oh, God, I feel so bad saying this, because... There's a whole reason why, like, my family got into acting, but I couldn't. It's because of appearances.
Mm.
So I feel guilty when I'm talking about appearances, but Tom Holland is just not... It's like when they switched Lara Croft and they did the Crystal Dynamics version, which everyone knows I find that extremely problematic. They got a model to motion cap Laura.
You mean Camilla Lovington?
Yes. And she's tiny, and she don't have any boobs anyway, and she's tiny. And Lara Croft is a very thick.
I was just about to say, just say how you want to say it.
But my point being, it made sense. As someone who's into lifting and stuff like that, you have to have a certain amount of bulk. So Tom Holland, while very pretty and an excellent Spider-Man, although a bit youngish looking at times, although he's starting to age now, he doesn't fit the preconceived notion of Nathan Drake, I think. Nathan Drake to me is a kind of Indiana Jones character, or a male Lara Croft, however you guys say it.
Lara.
Yeah. And so Tom Holland's like Indiana Jones' son. You know what I mean? It's just...
Oh God, don't remind me.
No,
of that,
he's
that
not.
Was basically
Yeah, I know.
that was no, because that was basically the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with Indiana Jones and Shia LaBeouf.
I know.
Ugh.
I know. So, but having said all that, drunken rambling, I'm still open-minded about it, because I still think there's potential there as like a story and stuff like that, and I want to see how they handle it. But I don't know, Pete. What did you think? Not enough gameplay in the trailer?
Very funny.
That's a joke I did.
Sorry, I've just realised that I've made some very incredibly bad errors on this document that you might be able to find now. No, but it's putting me off now.
Oh gosh.
No, I have some thoughts on this trailer, and look, I think they've captured the spirit in some way of what Nathan Drake is like.
The lighting, the lighting is very reminiscent of the game.
Yeah, the lighting's very interesting. It's very... I think he kind of has got the look about him, but although a little bit too young, like you said.
Right.
I've never rated Mark Wahlberg as an actor anyway, so this is a bad choice as Sully, if I'm honest.
Yeah. He's not an award. I mean, maybe technically, but
yeah. And the problem I have with this as well is that, correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to the Uncharted games. I've never played them.
Oh, right, okay.
I've wanted to, but I've never just got around to playing them. So I might pick up the Nathan Drake collection on PS4 at some point when it's cheap.
I would definitely say stop at 3, but
okay. So yeah, that's where the Nathan Drake collection stops. So okay.
Perfect.
But what it seems like to me, and based on someone who's watched the trailers for those games and knows some of the set pieces that they have in them, and they're considering that they're obviously set over the course of multiple years.
Right.
This film feels like it's just like, okay, I'm just going to take this moment from 1, this moment from 2, this moment from 3, and put them all into a continuity, and some moments from 4.
You know, it's funny you say this, because I've never thought about it before, and you alluded to this the other night.
Yeah, I was a bit more animated about it the
Well,
other
yeah,
night, though.
but it didn't hit me till literally just now. That is the way I feel about comic book movies.
Yeah,
Because I'm like,
it's
no,
like they're
this
trying
can't
to.
be happening. This didn't happen till blah blah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is they're trying to capture the essence of the comics, where every story is
just
spread out over
condense it.
multiple years, but they're
Yeah.
condensing it. And I don't know if that's going to work. Considering, and this is my point that which I was saying the other day to you and Kieran about this, uh, albeit a little bit, like I said, more animated and a bit more furious
Not
about it. Let's
Sunday
say,
friendly.
yeah, but it it just feels like the continuity is not going to be there, based on the fact that they have been trying to make this movie for about 10 years as well. They've had multiple castings, multiple directors that have left projects, they've had multiple rewrites, and I think this is probably the best they're going to do with this. But if they want to make this into an actual series of films, then retelling the stories
Yeah.
across 4 games in one movie is not going to help you.
I wonder though. This is just me and Prosecco talking. So like I love Indiana Jones. The first two. The third one, I know third one's like everybody's favorite, but it was never that great.
It's not my favorite, but I really like Sean Connery as his dad. It was perfect casting choice,
Well, I have to say, as I've gotten older and have gone back and watched it, I think it was probably an age thing. Now that I'm older and I see some of the jokes and stuff like that. Whereas before, I was a kid looking at Indiana Jones going, oh my gosh, I want to be him so bad. So, in order to keep making money off that franchise, they've kept making stupid movies and are making another one. Now that has watered down the brand in my idea, my plan, whatever. But my point being, Harrison Ford is like 70.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really affecting the quality of the films, if I'm honest.
He's already been injured once
Exactly.
or twice in the shooting of 5 as is.
I mean, he's amazing. Like, I love him, but let's just be honest. And so I think, this is just my brain, I think they purposely set Uncharted movie early, almost like a prequel, so that they could keep it as a franchise in the metaverse, which I'm so freaking tired of, to keep it going for decades.
I do as well, and that's probably why they've chosen Tom Holland as that choice.
Exactly.
Because he's young, he's dynamic, he's in vogue right now, let's say, and he's probably a good casting choice because he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. He is.
He's just young. It's just very young looking. That's half the problem.
Yeah, and because honestly, what's his name? Brendan Fraser. I think if there was a modern day Brendan Fraser type, it would have worked.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with you, but then I think it would have just invoked too much of the Mummy in it.
Yeah, I like the first Mummy.
Yeah, the first one's alright. The second one's not bad as well, though. Until the horrible CGI Scorpion King.
That really threw it off for me.
Oh, I know, but everything leading up until that point is quite cool. Like the flashback sequences with were quite cool.
For people who are too young to remember, those of us that saw the Scorpion King in theaters, even back then the CGI was bad. So
you're talking about the Scorpion King rather than the Mummy Returns. My goodness.
The Mummy Returns and the Scorpion King, because it didn't improve it. But that end part of the Mummy Returns 2 was bad even back then. So
yeah, they were in the reviews. It was like, wow, we really got to the beginning of 2000 with poor CGI.
It was so bad. Watch The Abyss. Exactly. Oh, love The Abyss. Anyway.
Yeah, I could talk about movies all day long. So we're going to talk about games that are based on movies.
Woohoo! See, great segue. Once again, I'm back. Let's hear it.
Yeah. GTA, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, probably will go down as one of the worst names for a collection of all time.
Do you think they did that on purpose, though?
Yes. Because originally, you remember when they released the games on the Xbox? They had it as Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy.
Right.
So it's basically just the Trilogy Definitive Edition, but they put the Definitive Edition rather than just Definitive Edition.
The best title of a GTA title is Liberty Stories: The Ballad of Gay Tony. Ballad of Gay, not the Battle for Gay. Well, the Okay,
Actually, you've mixed up
that.
two games titles there because they had Liberty City Stories on the PSP, and then they had a
But
DLC
isn't
for 4 was the Ballad of Gay Tony.
right? Okay, I don't know why I thought that was a Liberty City.
Because it was set in Liberty City. That's why.
Probably. Oh, it was such a
Yeah,
fun time.
But anyway,
They can't
GTA
recapture it.
Grand Theft Auto: The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, is due to get a digital release on November the 11th, with a physical release coming sometime in December. I believe it's December 5th.
That's
However,
the old Skyrim date, 11/11. Anyway.
Yes. So they did announce, roughly at the same time, that San Andreas is coming to Game Pass, whereas Free is going to PS Now.
Yeah.
What a surprise that the most popular game in that is not going to one of those services, which is Vice City, the one that I want to play the most.
Right. But that's because that's the one everyone wants to play the most.
Yes, and that's why I said games that are based on movies, because I really want to replay Scarface.
So, I know, exactly.
Even though I had Scarface game and it was terrible, but this is just
exactly.
like actually Scarface.
It was so buggy. Oh, it was so buggy.
It was awful. It was awful. Anyway,
what I was gonna say.
we both have some thoughts about this trailer.
Yes, we do. Go for it, Pete. Your thoughts are funnier.
The trailer is absolutely butt ugly. The lighting effects are amazing, especially when it comes to Liberty City, not to Liberty City, to Vice City.
Yeah.
The Miami lighting effects of the 80s is absolutely really well done. Like, just some of the technology that we can see in modern consoles with ray tracing and stuff like that in play. It's great. Oh boy, the character models are a little bit wonky. Some of the main characters, like Tommy Vercetti, are okay. They're not bad. Claude looks a bit hit and miss. And CJ and the crew look like they are still on the PS2. It's bad, in my opinion anyway. Some of the supporting characters are even worse. Oh my god. Is it Don called Don? The Don from 3? And I can't remember his actual name.
Yeah, it's not Corleone.
I was like, and that's definitely the Godfather.
Yeah, but it is Don.
Yeah, it's one of the Dons. It's like, he looks rough. Like, they haven't even bothered to update his character model. When, oh yeah, we need to update some character models and supporting characters. Whoops. Yeah, woof.
I will be the first to say that I know very little about updating games, remaking games. But we had that whole episode. I don't remember.
Look. This is the problem I have with this. Is that this doesn't feel like this isn't a remake technically. This is a remastering.
Remastering. See, we could never quite.
But this isn't a remaster in the grand scheme of things, because remaster would mean just give it a visual polish. But they haven't done that because they've given it a modern control scheme, and they've also put it onto a whole new engine.
See, that's where I get confused, because I'm like, let's be honest here. GTA 5, blanked out there. Hello, Prosecco. Yeah. Has been re-released for 10 years.
Nearly 10 years at this point. Yeah. It came out in 2013 originally.
I cannot believe it's been that long. That feels like
8
yesterday.
years. 8 years.
Well, it's
8 years.
I know. But it's been re-released, and minor updates, blah blah. Why couldn't they just take whatever fancy magic technology they did there and apply it to this trilogy? Because it is trilogy, right? 300. Yeah. Because I was reading that they purposely went with a kind of cartoony look. But I don't know why. If GTA 5 is so photorealistic.
I think so. Cast your mind back to how it was on the PS2. Like, this is when games were starting to look more and more realistic. Worlds were getting bigger, and you could fill them with a lot more things. However, if you looked at the splash screens and the loading screen, they were all very cartoony aesthetic, sorry.
That's always
and I think that's where they're going for on this one.
Right.
I think it's to try and make it stand out a little bit more compared to GTA 5, because you know someone's going to turn around and go, oh yeah, look, it's just like playing GTA Trilogy and GTA 5. We could do this already with mods and stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool. You know, it's probably to try and do, probably for that reason. But I'll be honest, I'm a sucker. I'm probably going to buy these anyway.
We all are.
I do not want to.
Everyone in our generation and older is going to buy them. Because I don't know why we all love Vice City. Even, and I'm going to say girls, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but most females that I'm friends with are not gamers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because I'm old. I don't know. But they play Vice City. Yeah. Won't play anything else. They'll play Vice City.
I think that's
so. What is our generation? Why? Why do we love Vice City so much?
Well, why do we love the GTA games so much?
Well, I like it because it lets me beat up on people. Oh, and when I was a kid,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Pete, this is terrible. But when I was a teenager and playing Vice City, because I was in a very religious home and naughty things were not.
I know. You relive those power fantasies of wanting. Yeah.
You could pick up prostitutes and then go drive into a shady part under the tree, and the car would start bouncing up and down, and I was
like, I mean, I would do that, and then I'd mow down the fool to get my money back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrific.
She had to hop out, and then I knocked her over and got the money.
We've all done it. We've all done it. Look, that was some of the fun that we had on the games, and that was. We did not. Wow, we were some nerdy children. We were indeed, but hey, that's what made it fun, and I'll get to the comments in a moment.
Yeah, because we got a lot of comments coming up.
I'm gonna air my disappointment that San Andreas has come into Game Pass because I really wanted to play Vice City.
Yeah.
More than anything.
But that's what everyone wants.
Not really. I've heard mixed bags on this one. A lot of people are saying San Andreas is the best one. Yeah. And I've never ever agreed with that.
I've never agreed with that because San Andreas started what became GTA 4, which is all the tiny little, like, you had to work out or you get fat. Yeah. And all that.
Yeah, that was, for me, it felt like too much busy work, like, rather than an actual focus on the narrative, which is what
I did forget
what
that
Vice City was all about. Well, I'm getting to those in a minute. All right, calm down. Yeah, it was just the busy work. I didn't like the busy work in San Andreas. It was too dull. It just took away from the narrative, and then
GTA 4 came out, and that's all it was. And I was like,
no, I'm
done.
Exactly. And then obviously they realised that, and that's why they scaled it back in GTA 5.
Although it still had some annoying minutiae in GTA 5, but not like GTA 4.
Yeah, it was so much more ignorable, though.
Yes.
You know, you didn't have to go and play golf. You didn't have to go to a bar. You didn't have... Like, there were missions that were based around it in GTA 4, which was terrible.
Now I want to play GTA 5.
Yeah, so do I.
That's why they keep selling it. That's why.
I know, because I'm going to have to buy it for the 12th time.
Because I'm going to keep
Not
playing
really,
it.
I mean third.
I play GTA 5. I don't play it as much as I play New Vegas. But GTA 5 would be, if I had a list of games that I replay for fun, GTA 5 is like second or third on the list.
Look, I've completed
New Vegas
that campaign.
being number 1. Yeah.
I've completed the campaign 4 times.
I've done it with each character. I know which one I hate, which ending I hate. And
yeah, there's only one ending, really.
Well, I was like, no, there's more than one ending, but I mean, there's one canon ending, yeah.
You know what I mean. There is only one actual ending that matters.
Yes.
Because all the other ones are actually kind of terrible.
Exactly. And I still love Trevor, I'm sorry. And I love his voice actor.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to get him for my Comic-Con.
Look, that ending, if you choose to kill him, is actually great.
No, it's not. Fair. I hate it. I mean, I
No,
get
it's
it,
great.
But
It's
I hate
great
it.
because it's so fitting for the character.
It is, but I hate it. But anyway, I'm going to hit the comments.
Yeah, so I'm going to get to the comments before we move into our biggest
I did not mean to do
stories.
this. Do y'all see that? I've got this much left.
Yeah. Anyway, so Deadbeat Pump put Vita Collections. I could see that. Now then put I hope to God Gravity Rush comes to PC. I do too because Japan
talked about
Studios
that.
got a raw end of the deal, and
We've
please
talked
put
about
Ape Escape. Put Ape
Oh,
Escape on
gosh.
PC. Thank you.
That's not gonna happen, Pete.
What?
Ape Escape's never coming.
I know it's not. I'm aware of that.
I know.
But we need a revival.
And it starts here and now.
Deadbeat Punk then decided to lower the tone by saying it's always a quick time with Pete.
Woohoo! It's true.
I know that burns pretty deep, you know.
Again, nothing wrong with quickies. Sometimes short and sweet's the way to go.
Nana put, I have avoided it for now at least. I have like 3 friends watching that now.
Word of honor, yeah.
Yeah, I believe this relates to the whole Uncharted movie. Deadbeat Punk put Danny DeVito ?
As Sully? Oh my gosh! Do you mean as Sully? Because that would work.
I think it would work.
That would have so worked because okay. So in the 80s there was this pair of movies that my mom was obsessed with, which is Romancing the Stone and whatever the heck its sequel was.
Oh God, not Romancing the Stone.
My mom was obsessed with those. Those were like her favorite movies.
Awful film.
I have not seen them since I was itty bitty, so they may be terrible and very problematic. I don't know, but Danny DeVito was so evil in them that it was hard for me to see him as not evil. But then he was in Matilda and he was evil. Anyway, so Danny DeVito, I love him and I think he would make a great Sully.
Okay, he then follows up with back with a bang, Kylie. Break open the whiskey. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
I got whiskey upstairs, that's alright.
Nana then put Vice City does seem very ingrained in modern culture. That absolutely is, because everybody loves Scarface, and you know, I don't. It's a terrible movie.
I would love to see a study done on why it is so important to like. I mean, I'm gonna say generation.
Who needs a study done? I can tell you the answer right now.
Okay.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack is out of this frickin' world. But
exactly, like everyone remembers the soundtrack, but barely any of the missions.
But so is Saints Row 2 soundtrack. I was listening to it yesterday.
Saints Row 2 soundtrack is a banger.
It is.
But it's not quite at like legendary level as Vice City.
But why do none of us were alive when those songs originally came out.
But that's what makes it great. It's the look and the feel of the 80s, isn't it?
Is it the same people that love, like I do, like Back to the Future? But I remember my mom, who grew up in the 50s, she loved Back to the Future because it showed like the 50s or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up liking the 50s because of it. So I wonder if it's kind of, I don't know. I'm just curious. I would like to know the kind of.
I like Back to the Future because it's a good movie.
I like it. Now, they did kind of lose the plot in 3, but, I mean...
Yeah, of course. Like, we don't talk about 3 much. Back to the Future 2 is my
favorite. I love it. It's set in the future. It's
the one
future
of the
when I was a kid.
Look, it's one of the very few occasions in movie history where you could say it's as close to the sequel, if not better.
Yeah.
Or close to the original, sorry.
If I had a choice, I would choose 2. But again, that could be because of my age and stuff. It's very weird.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I love Vice City. I don't know why.
Moving on. Brent put, speak for yourself, I don't like any Rockstar game.
Brent, you don't like Vice City? Brent. Okay, though Vice City is probably the best.
Yeah, so Vice City is probably the best.
Okay.
Deadbeat Punk is clearly referencing your debauched moments where he says, only did it for the health bonus. Absolutely.
I did forget about that giving you a health bonus, but yes, that's right.
But surely it shouldn't give you a health bonus. It should give you fatigue.
STD.
Christ.
I love Vice City so much.
Kylie's back, everyone. And then Deadbeat Punk has finished up by saying Ape Escape might get added to Super Monkey Ball. Highly unlikely.
It is weird. Okay, so I'm going to be honest about Super Monkey Ball because I did want to talk about this very briefly and then we'll move on. But the only time I've ever played Super Monkey Ball was on the early iPhones. I don't know if it's still available in the App Store. It could be. But this was like...
Might be.
It was like one of the first games I downloaded on iPhone. And I think it was iPhone 3. because I couldn't afford.
Wow, that is a long way back.
Yeah, I couldn't afford the other first year. And I'm pretty sure I bought it used, knowing me.
Yeah.
Because I buy everything used. But, so seeing, like, all these people talk about Monkey Ball, I'm still trying to figure out how I missed it. Because it was on the PlayStation 2, correct?
PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. And most people played the GameCube version because of the analog triggers.
See, I don't have any memory of that at all. Although I did watch a YouTube video where this guy was, like, speed running it. And he just, like, would hop off the side and just land at the finish line.
Yeah, there's some crazy shortcuts in that game.
That's crazy. Anyway,
last comment. Nana's put, I haven't played any of them. They were all before my time.
Yeah.
And by the time I got a console, it was the Wii.
Right.
That's understandable. Look, Rockstar hasn't supported the Nintendo consoles because of a fallout they had with them many
Nana,
years
you're
ago.
19, correct? Or did you turn 20 this year? I think you're 19. So it is a good perspective to have. Because I've always wondered, for years I've wondered, why does our generation and above absolutely adore Vice City? Even non-gamers.
Cultural relevance, I guess.
I guess this is like Pac-Man and Super Mario.
It's one of those games that's so ingrained into our culture, I guess.
Nana turns 20, which I would have known that, but I have been drinking a lot of Prosecco.
Yes. So let's move on before you get too drunk and have to pass out.
I never pass out, not from drinking.
Oh, look at you, I'm old.
I miss this. I miss streaming so much.
I know. Anyway, let's get on to the story because I think this one's going to be the shortest of the three.
That's what they all say. Shortest is my favorite.
I have to preface this as well. This will be the very, 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 very last time that I decide to ever talk about Kotaku again because they suck. And I wish they would die in a hole for all I care because
I do want to say my piece about Kotaku.
Yeah, all they are clickbait, rage baiters, absolute morons. And we touched on this last week very, very briefly with the fact that they were telling everyone to go and pirate Metroid Dread.
They are masturbators.
Oh my god.
I missed you guys so much. Hurry up, because I want to talk about Kotaku.
Okay. Yeah, I had to quell back my disappointment in that one.
Yeah.
So they've been writing more articles. For some reason, they feel like they need to keep writing about Metroid. And I wonder why. Maybe they're in hot water with Nintendo over something. Gee, I wonder why.
Can't imagine.
So Kotaku are back at it again. This time writing an article about why Samus doesn't need to be a silent protagonist to be a badass.
I love silent protagonists. I'm sorry. I love that. I mean, Master Chief, thank you. Gordon Freeman. Classics.
Yes.
I like that because I can impose my own personality on there.
Well, I guess from a writing aspect, yes, you can. You could do that if you wanted to.
Yeah, I have my own headcanon.
Also, I'm pretty sure this has been part of her character since 1986.
It has been?
Why would you change it now? Look at what they did. Look at what they did with Other M. They made her a talker, and everyone hated it.
Yeah.
Because she was a full-on emo.
I can't believe it. Nana just like totally whoop, got in with your same exact argument.
I speak truth, that's why. I know there are some fans of Other M out. I know there are some Other M fans out there, clearly.
Are there?
Well, I've heard it. I've never met one myself.
Oh, I've literally not.
No, I've never met one, but I have heard the opinion coming around from certain people that they do enjoy Metroid Other M, which is very, very weird because it's a terrible, terrible game. Anyway, so I just don't understand what this is all about. It's like they clearly haven't understood her character, her motivations, her backstory, anything about the actual character, and are clearly just writing something just to annoy people.
Exactly.
This is half the reason why I'm saying I'm never covering Kotaku again, and this is more of a PSA for anyone who thinks they want to talk about Kotaku
I
to
have
us.
2 points.
Yeah. Thank you.
One is the Metroid point, which is as a kid coming up, yes, there was a time, I think it's gotten better, but there was a time where female protagonists were just not a thing. Samus kind of broke the mold for that. So
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
She's
That
always
is like
been.
that's one of the best moments in gaming from the
It
80s.
is.
Is that
Absolutely.
reveal at the end when you find out that the biggest badass in this entire game that you've been playing is female.
Yes.
And it's like, holy crap.
I mean, and I know that probably seems silly now to other people, but back then, that's all we had. Even coming to 90s, I had Lara Croft and Samus. That's who I got to look up to. And I had points to this. 2 seconds and we'll come back. I don't remember what I was going to say, but she doesn't need to talk. Her actions are definitive. Like, she's just so badass. Don't ruin her badassness,
Isn't there an expression for this? I'm pretty sure there is. It might be something along the lines of actions speak louder than words.
Yes, exactly. Oh, darn, I just lost a jacket. But
Are you eBaying whilst we're recording?
It just popped up.
My goodness.
But
welcome to Easily Distracted Kylie, who can't even focus for 2 hours on a podcast.
I literally can't. We're doing great right now, folks. But my
Fantastic.
second thing I'm going to say, and then we'll go to comments because there's a lot. Yeah,
There's a couple.
I know, Debbie, but Master Chief talks in quotes. Anyway, so my point.
Yeah, he talks, but not a lot.
Yeah, I love him. But what was I going to say? Oh, Kotaku. I want to talk about Kotaku for 2 seconds. I said this the other day to Pete and Kieran, but I'm going to say this out loud and publicly because it is a stance that I strongly adhere to. I have been in journalism since I was 20 years old, which is a long time because I'm really old now. Apparently, I don't know. I keep getting told I'm old. But women in journalism they have come a long way. I'm not going to sit here and belittle anyone's accomplishments. Patricia Hernandez has been in gaming journalism since I was like a teenager. She's been one of those people that always came up. I always followed her. I used to be Kotaku like obsessive because that was only place I could get my news, in like 2006 or whatever. She's now like head of editorial or whatever over at Kotaku, which is a freaking great accomplishment.
Yeah, take nothing away. That's an amazing accomplishment for someone in her field.
If it were me, and I said this to the guys the other day, I have far too much honor to ever sink to the level of angry rage baiting. And I'm very disappointed that someone who is talented, she is talented. She actually is talented if you go back in the past. But she has reduced herself and continued Kotaku's decline over the last 5 or 6 years. Well, since Gamergate, if we're honest. To just being rage baiting and just making money, click, 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 no integrity, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that Patricia herself does not have integrity, but what she is peddling and her writers are peddling, there's no integrity there.
Well, she's at the top of that particular team who are obviously doing that. So it's got to come down from the top. If she doesn't like what's happening at Kotaku, she has the ability to leave. But she's only perpetuating this further.
Yeah, and she right now is in a position where she has quite a loud voice. She has more power than she's ever had in her previous stints, where people used to just crap all over her, and I really did empathized with her as a female in journalism.
Yep.
Now she's been given power, and she's done the lowest common denominator. And I'm very disappointed in that.
Oh, I'm disappointed as well. I mean, probably for a different angle, but like you said, she is a talented writer, has been for many, many years.
Yep.
I followed her work, and I was always interested
I love
in
the
reading
way
it.
her brain she could flip things. See it from a different point of view.
Yeah,
Back
but
in the day.
she's not doing
now.
that now.
No, it's
especially
pure rage bait.
not as chief editor or whatever her title is now.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but
Editor of everything.
it's not great, to be honest. So we've got some comments about this, and I'm gonna go through them
Go for
because
it.
I think Deadbeat Punk actually hits the nail on the head with this one.
Okay.
Probably better than I did, or you did.
Oh,
Well,
well.
apart from this comment, of course, it says Yuzu does what Nintendo don't.
Yes.
Okay. Nana put, I felt like they saw the other end debate on Twitter and wanted to say their piece. Absolutely, but they clearly don't know the history of the characters. And yeah, bad idea. Really didn't. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we've got a resource available to us, such as the internet, where you can go back and play these games.
Yep.
Or you could go back and actually research these games. It takes 10 minutes. And yet they've done absolutely no research on it whatsoever. Because they were giving everyone a brief history lesson, and I think everyone doesn't really need the history lesson.
But I think I think they did that on purpose. I don't think it's an oversight, and that's what's making me angry. It's on
that's
purpose.
half the problem.
Yeah.
And I think I do feel like this is probably to try and curry favor with Nintendo because they don't want to lose their access.
That
to
was
review
dumb.
codes
What they
because
did.
they absolutely screwed the pooch with that
I can't
piracy
believe
thing.
they did that. And I'm a person who advocates. I've never made it a secret. I do advocate ROMs. I do.
Yeah.
Not
for preservation, I think there's nothing wrong with ROMs and emulators, but there is a legal loop. There is a legal grey area with them.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into that debate because that is a debate we need to have.
We do next year for sure. That's another one.
Deadbeat Punk put. I'm going to read his second comment first because it's a funny one.
Okay.
Samus was the original catfish.
It's true though. Like everybody's their jaw just dropped when that armor goes off. It's like, because that was a time when there were no female protagonists. Your female was a princess in another castle.
Yes, it was.
And which is great. A lot of women out there love the whole princess damsel in distress, but there is a select few of us that like being badasses.
True. Anyway, so this comment from Deadbeat Punk says, Samus is absolutely dripping with sass. In Dread, they missed the mark by a mile on that article.
I agree.
And I felt like you probably were in a better place to do it because I haven't played Dread yet.
I've been watching the Let's Play videos. Obviously, I haven't played it because I don't ever turn on my Switch. I almost considered buying Mike's Switch.
Anyway. Nana put, it sounds like Master Chief just talks in one-liners. Absolutely. But that's great.
I love him!
Okay. Let's move on from this story because I don't want to give Kotaku any more press than they deserve.
Right.
If there is a story that happens to involve Kotaku in the future, we will cover it, but from another outlet rather than their own writing.
Let's be honest about games journalism right now. Games journalism, it sucks. As we know it. Because everyone is, Pete has, we joke about it, but Pete does have to kind of help me out a little bit because I will find stories and then I'll dig back and back and back and back until I find the, the origin of the story. And it's always a rumor. Like, we made a joke about it. We said Kylie's rumor been blah, blah, blah. But I have shown him the stories. They report them as fact.
Yes, they do. They're awful. Like, they don't specifically put rumor or speculation or anything like that. They put it out as definitive.
And the fact is, someone will post a rumor and then 5,000 outlets will take that rumor and run with it. So,
and yet you'll never once see a retraction for the fact that it's fake.
No, exactly. So it is, sorry to use it, but fake news. Or misleading, or however you want to say it. Misinformation.
I would say I'd say misleading and misinformation.
So I'm very I really want to start my own thing. I wonder if Mike will let me.
Let's not, because I've contemplated certain things about
I know we're a review site, not a news site.
So I saw these two stories.
Yes.
One of them you posted to me anyway, and we had to cover it. But these two stories are very Kylie news stories, let's be honest here. Because the first up we're going to talk about is the fact that Starfield has had a new leaked video come out, which is a trailer, which has now been delisted.
I was gonna say
Unusually.
it's delisted, which is weird. Not delisted, but private listed. What is it called?
They probably privated it on YouTube,
Right.
but I was able to still find it and watch it, which was unusual.
Unlisted. So it's still available, but not. It doesn't have a public. You have to go directly to that link. Yes.
Yes, but this gives off a lot of details, which a lot of people have been clamoring for since they obviously showed the trailer at E3.
Yeah, I'm dying
about
to
what
know.
the game actually is.
I think it's Fallout set in space. But
let's get to that.
Yeah.
So the leaked video, which has now seemingly been confirmed, shows the area known as the Settled Systems. This is due to be set 20 years after a huge civil war in 2330, which is roughly 50 light years away from Earth, with two warring colonies known as the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective. That unity is not as strong as the truce would suggest, which sounds very Fallout.
It does. And there's a reason why they said it in 2330, because Fallout takes place in 2022.
Ooh, so do you feel that they're going to try and link Starfield to Fallout in some way?
Knowing Bethesda, I hesitate to say that it's not going to take place in the same metaverse. I think it will. I think it will in the way that Saints Row and what's the Mars one where you can blow up stuff and Red Faction. Oh, I said the F word. Whoops. I don't know the time on that, but Red Faction is 100,000 years or something. Not that's too much, but Red Faction is in the same universe as Saints Row. So my gut feeling is that Starfield is in the same universe as Fallout in the very similar way.
Yeah.
It won't directly link to it, but it'll have little. Because it's Bethesda, they always do that.
They tend to do that quite a lot. They're massive into their world building, their lore, and all that, which is probably why Kylie's such a fangirl.
It is. It's so, there's so much lore. It's so good. I love it so much.
But I do also have to preface that this part of the story is merely rumor alone.
Yes.
And a lot of it, obviously, all of this is mostly rumor. Let's be honest, because they have stated that the Starfield leakers claim that every planet is bigger than the entire Skyrim map, which is crazy to think.
I hope so, but sometimes they say stuff like that, and it's a technicality.
Yeah, I mean, remember obviously what they said about Fallout 76 and how its world was 18 times the size of Fallout 4, I think it was.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm referencing.
But there was so little to do in it, so who cared?
Exactly. That's the thing. There's these wide swaths of open land. That doesn't make it better.
No. Yeah, but you can ask any Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time fan and tell you, they'll still tell you that that's their favourite game in the series, despite being a barren, empty world.
Wow. I like Ocarina.
I'm still annoyed about that Switch Online expansion pass, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Is that in this week's stuff?
No, we covered it briefly last week, so I wasn't going to bring it up again. I would be interested in your thoughts, but it's not on the hot topic anymore. So
I think you would be able to know my thoughts on that anyway.
Not paying it, your Switch is still covered in dust, so don't care. Yeah, there you go. That's why I omitted it from this story. So, all right, let's get into this. How excited does this make you feel about Starfield now?
Well, I mean, again, as a Bethesda fangirl, I know what I'm in for. They don't do surprises, but I think that's part of their I think that's part of their charm. I was disappointed in Fallout 4. I'm not gonna lie, and of course, I've never touched 76 because I wanted to vomit as soon as they showed emotes.
Well, if you wanted to play Fallout 76,
Mhm.
apparently there's a free trial coming soon.
Yeah, they do that ever so often. It's
And
just not for me.
I'm gonna sort of bring up a point that was mentioned in Skill Up's weekly videos of This Week in Video Games. Is
Right.
why does Fallout 76 still have a paid pass?
Somebody must be paying it, but it ain't me. We will talk about what my money goes to here in a little bit.
Oh yeah, we know exactly what's gonna go on that. So
yeah, but I don't expect anything new, but like that's okay. Like I do literally expect Fallout in space.
yeah.
Which is fine. I'm happy with that. If though, what I really wish, and I've said this a million times, just let Obsidian work with Bethesda, Microsoft, and release Outer Worlds 2. Which is coming, but I want it specifically to be them.
Well, they are.
Yeah, I know.
Obsidian are already making it.
I know they're already making it, but I really want them to have the creative freedom.
I think they are. Microsoft are pretty much said that they're going to allow them to do whatever they want.
I hope. I'm one of those people
look,
that I need to see the physical product first.
Look, let's be honest here. They bought Obsidian a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Knowing full well what they
so
were working on with Avowed.
Yes, that's right. Which I cannot wait for.
Knowing it was going to be an Elder Scrolls killer. And then bought Bethesda to then have Elder Scrolls 6.
I think Avowed is more going to be a Fable killer. Because they've reduced Fable to a third party.
Why? They're making a new Fable. It kind of defeats the point to do that.
They're making a new Skyrim. But I think Avowed is going to be more quirky like Fable.
I think it will.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I think there's going to be some quirks to it, obviously, because I mean it's Obsidian. They are very quirky, interesting
them so
sort of.
Much.
I know. So,
but yes, we need to.
I have some thoughts quickly on this one. And I'm going to surprise you, I think, with this one.
Okay.
Day one purchase for me.
Yes, that is a huge surprise for me. What?
I love sci-fi. Mostly sci-fi stuff I will get involved in. I love sci-fi, so I couldn't quite get into the Fallout games because it's post-apocalyptic. I've never really been a big fan of it.
Right? So
give me space.
Did you play Outer Worlds?
I have.
Did you like it?
I couldn't get my PC to run it properly, so I never really played it. So but it's on Game Pass, I think. So
it used to be. I don't know if it still is. I bought it, so.
Okay, well, I will probably get it at some point.
I would like to know your thoughts on that.
I do really want to play it because I've been so interested in it.
Yeah.
Being, space exploration, everything like that. That's why I was massively interested in No Man's Sky, but then saw how terrible it was on launch and never picked it up. That's why I love Mario Galaxy. Platforming in space.
It is your favorite. That is true.
There you go. Yeah, space stuff is and sci-fi is my bag. So
I love fantasy too, though. It depends on what mood I'm in that day.
Yeah.
I love them both. You want to read
comments?
Chat?
Yeah. So let's have a look and see where we got to with this one. So
this is my last glass. I gotta chill. I haven't drank in a month. 1 full month.
What does that even mean? Brent put, wait till you watch Deep Sick. Okay. And realise the letter to the editor became a scientific study.
I need to know more about that.
I'm confused. Anyway.
Brent, let me know more about that. Those are some keywords that I enjoy.
Okay. Deadbeat Punk's then given us a few messages here, so a few comments. Like the Switch Pro and Game Boy library coming to the NSO, yep.
That's
Rumour printed as fact. Bethesda doing an Outer Worlds, yep, pretty much.
Well, I want to know if the charm is going to be there, though.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds is so charming. It's just so charming.
Yeah, he then put, I hope the Bright Brotherhood turns up from New
Oh
Vegas.
my goodness.
76 was 4 times better looking than 4. It just works.
Look, I'm not going to comment
Excellent.
on the appearance, but the lore is terrible.
Yeah, Brent followed that up, but sorry, Dope Sick on Hulu. Okay, fair enough. And then Deadbeat Punk finished it up by saying, isn't it Game Pass anyway? Yes, it is. So I haven't even got to buy it. Woohoo!
I need to get the DLC for Outer Worlds.
Of course.
But see, here's the thing. Before we move on, because we're going to move on to something I'm really passionate about.
Damn it, I was going to segue then as well. We had a good segue opportunity.
I'm sorry. I watched Call Me Kevin play the Outer Worlds the other day because he found out you could kill every NPC, and so he was like, I'm going to kill every NPC because that's what Call Me Kevin does. Yeah. And I know when I played it that I already was like complaining that the graphics were out of style, out of date. They're already kind of old looking. It really is not a good looking game.
What, the Outer Worlds?
Yeah, it's just not. But it's still witty, it's still funny, and I still love the writing. It's charming. It's charming. But that Unity engine.
I mean, look, I love old movies. I'm starting to get really into classic movies now.
I love classic movies. When I get my cinema room built, I'm gonna have black and white projectors.
Exactly. One of my favorite like psychological thrillers, like, and it was once considered a horror movie, was Psycho.
Oh, definitely.
And it's weird to think that you can go back and watch that. It's an ugly film.
Ugly, you mean like aesthetically?
Aesthetically, it's an ugly film.
Very simplistic.
But it was groundbreaking at the time.
Absolutely.
You know, so it doesn't have to be all about the looks. It's about the content.
Oh yeah. If I had to list an order of what's important in a game, for me it's always going to be storytelling and characterization. Graphics come below that. For me,
it's performance. And then gameplay.
Yeah, I know
like
that.
If it runs like hell, then you're not going to want to play it. And then obviously, if it's fun, you will play it.
If it compels me, I will be drawn in, which we're about to talk about.
Yes,
and
yes,
one of
we
our
are.
Next studios.
Next discussion points.
Yes, but do you want to catch up on comments and then we move to the next?
Well, we basically kind of already done that. There's been a few that have come in since. It just says. It's about Purdus Farmer creating an Oxycontin epidemic. Dope Stick is on Disney Plus in the UK. Oh, yes, I did do that. I'm going to have to check it out. And then Deadbeat Punk, for me, it's about power male fantasy. I am Kiryu.
Okay, look.
Okay.
This is completely random aside.
Nice to know that Deadbeat Punk is back in the viewer's chair, making these comments to make us laugh. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
But I do want to say one quick thing. Because I have had so much Prosecco, and this is just an unguarded thought. For a very strong female who don't need no man. The whole He-Man series that Kevin Smith did. Yes, the second half is coming out. I am very much into female protagonists, but at the same time, I do understand, like for real, the power male fantasy. I don't think there's anything wrong with power male fantasies, and I don't think there's anything wrong with female power fantasies. I absolutely adored Xena. She's like the epitome to me as a child. So having said all that nonsense. The second part of He-Man Masters of the Universe is coming out. Kevin Smith's version. They've taken He-Man out of the title. And I don't think I like that series. I know that's not a video game thing, but I just want to say that.
Yeah, I understand. So
I also hate her haircut.
Yeah, he's Deadbeat Punk has also just put, wouldn't even let me quit live last week. Oh yeah, forgot I had something else to be angry about. They did what?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No. Whole debate, whole another issue. Not
Yeah.
moving on to
It's
that. Let's
now.
move on.
I know, but it is now just called Masters of the Universe, and
They flushed He-Man. Yes, they did.
I just. I'm probably one of the strongest females you're ever going to come across in your life. And I don't say that lightly. That is actually just the honest truth. I'm sorry. And I hate the way they have treated the whole Master of the Universe series. But I have an open mind, so I will watch it and see how it plays out. But right now, they took He-Man out of the title.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I haven't watched it. I have no comment on this. I don't have Netflix.
Oh, right. I can't say that.
And even if I did intend to have Netflix at some point in the future, I'm probably not going to watch it. I have next to zero affiliation for He-Man.
They all have, we all have our power fantasies. This is the one thing that I do want to go on Deadbeat Show and talk about. We all have our power fantasies. And I don't think it's wrong to have strong, muscly men. I mean, it's not my aesthetic. I'm not into it, but I get it. You know? Because I like Xena, Warrior Princess.
I mean, I watched more Xena than I did He-Man, so...
Yeah, and I also didn't like Hercules, but it wasn't because of the whole male power fantasy thing. I just didn't like Kevin Sorbo. But I loved Xena! Oh, I love her so much. But it doesn't matter.
He's put studios always open, so yeah.
Yes!
There you go. Anyway, let's get on to this last story before you have another aside about He-Man.
Because I'm so into this next story. I love being back. I hope you guys are happy that I'm back.
Gee, I wonder who put this story up.
I did. I told Pete and Karen this the other day.
To which I'd heard nothing about it until you mentioned it, which is a surprise for me, actually.
I don't think Kieran heard it either.
Oh, he had, because he explained it in a bit more detail.
Oh, okay.
So, because I said to you, I was like, what is going on with this? Like, what is this story? And you said nothing, and he was just like, so this is what's happening.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, thanks.
I was concentrating on zombies.
Yeah, yes you were. So, is it any surprise that we're going to be talking about Destiny 2, The Witch Queen?
Oh, I love this.
So this is the new expansion that's due to be coming to Destiny 2 as of February. It's the next major next and probably the last major update, isn't it?
He's not dead. Sorry. Deadbeat's comments about Kieran.
That's because Kieran's dead. Let him go. Poor guy.
Never.
Kieran is not dead. He's
alive.
He's alive and well.
I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go, Kieran.
He's alive and well. I promise you. He's not actually
and very busy.
Just a busy man.
Very busy man.
And everything. Anyway, let's move on because we've gone on long enough.
Yes, I know. But I've enjoyed being back. I hope our audience has enjoyed me being back.
I know you have,
I'm very happy.
I've enjoyed having you back as well, but we do need to move on.
Yes.
So, Bungie has been talking about their next major expansion, which is Destiny 2, which is called The Witch Queen, due out in February. Now, to preface this a little bit for obviously people who don't know much about what the seasonal updates or expansion updates for Destiny 2, you usually get a lot of stuff with them. So you'll get huge story content that's usually shelled out over about 4 weeks.
Even longer.
Sometimes they go longer, but there's like 6, 8. It depends on how long the narrative goes on for, but they piecemeal it basically every week for you to get through.
Right.
So they're currently on. Tell me the expansion we're currently on. Beyond Light.
We're on Beyond Light, Season of the Lost.
Yeah, so we're on the Season of the Lost at the moment, so which is fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good narrative.
Right. I should probably preface it that it's a season. No.
I'm getting to this, right? I'm getting to this.
And then seasons within a campaign. Yes.
Yes, I was getting to this point. I had to explain the bare necessities of how it works with Destiny. So you have the major expansion, which will then have story updates in that, which moves the narrative along. You will
Right.
then have seasonal seasons,
Yes.
which can obviously move the narrative on a little bit, or you have seasonal content that gets added, so new weapons, exotics, armors, the lot.
Right. Storylines.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also included with this are, fun activities like crucibles and raids, and they've now obviously opened up Trials of Osiris and
Right.
extra stuff
Which
like
I
that.
still haven't met the requirements for. I'm almost there.
Neither have I, but next weekend we will. So usually I would include. I think we know where we're going to go with this when I say they usually include dungeons in this.
Yes.
So typical to every MMORPG that's out there, regardless of whether or not it's a looter shooter or a traditional MMORPG like World of Warcraft or anything like that. You will get dungeons included with this. However, Bungie have announced that dungeons will not be included on the next major expansion. You have to pay for them. So not only are you having to pay for the next major update, which is about £40 every time, or $50 to $60.
Yep.
You then have to pay for a season, and then you have to pay for which I think will include the dungeons, right?
Right.
I'm asking for clarification.
Yes.
I'm not 100% on this story, so
I'm gonna expand on that, but yes, you are correct. But I want to hear your opinion first.
I'm massively disappointed that Bungie are deciding to take this angle, but, and this is the big one here, I can understand why they're doing it. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of each update. Usually as someone who is a little bit more cynical, and I am very cynical,
yes,
I know this.
It's true.
I would have decried this as being absolutely shambolic, a money grab, a money spinner, all those sorts of things. Now that I've seen actually what Destiny 2 is all about, this does make a bit of sense.
Right. Excellent.
Because, they are now very much an independent company away from Activision, thank goodness.
Yes.
Activision is no good for anyone.
I'm so glad.
So, I think what they're doing is they're pouring all their resources into independence. They're trying to. Don't start. They're obviously trying to get some money together through seasonal updates and content expansions, microtransactions, whatever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
To possibly start production on the next game if they haven't already started production on their next project.
Exactly.
But it's still a little bit on the scummy side of things. Not quite EA levels of selling legacy editions,
right.
But it's still not good optics for the game.
Which I think is a fair assessment.
I like to be fair,
You do, and that's why our show works so well.
But that's the thing, is that I actually am a fan of Destiny, and I never thought that I would say I'd be a fan of Destiny. But I like the narrative, I like the stories, I like the way that they implement the stories. But I just think this is a bit too much and a bit wrong in some respects. So I'm not going to give them credit where credit is due, because I think this isn't great. But I will give them credit for the amazing narrative they have put out with Destiny 2.
Well, this is the kind of angle that I'm coming from, and yes, Deadbeat saying some hilarious things.
I am not a Bungie apologist. That's Capcom. Thank you very much.
And me. I'm Bungie apologist.
Yes, Kylie's the Bungie apologist. We've all known this.
And then I like what Brent said, but we will come to that. So, a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
A little bit of backstory here. So when Bungie did Halo, I was an absolute, there is no denying it, Bungie fangirl. Halo 3 to me was the epitome of video game-ness at the time.
Even to the point where you hate ODST for no particular reason.
I don't hate it. I just feel that it's the music's good, but it's not right. The graphics are good, but they're not right. You know, all that.
There's no Master Chief in the game.
There's no Master Chief, but I did love their firefight. I will always say that.
Yeah.
But my point being, when Bungie went off to make Destiny, I've said this many times, I felt betrayed, which is silly, but it is true. I did feel that. And I avoided Destiny. I've never played Destiny, the original.
I never got around to playing it because I didn't hear good things on launch. And
it was terrible.
Taken King obviously recovered it a bit.
Yeah, and then we all know the whole Peter Dinklage thing.
Even to the point where I made the joke when we first started playing Destiny, and I was like running through the campaign area. I was like, I really want to hear more Dinklage.
Oh gosh, yeah. So Destiny 2 came out. I still felt betrayed. And then, which is silly, I absolutely acknowledge that. But, you know, look, sometimes emotions aren't rational. And then Kieran joined our lovely, I was going to say coven, our lovely little...
Cabal,
there you go. And he is very much into Destiny 2. Now, he is more of the aesthetic type person. He likes the cosmetics. But that's not to say he doesn't like the story, because he actually spent some time filling me in on some of the lore. And I was like, there's lore? So I went... And...
that was literally what you did. You're like, something you tell. You're like, lore?
Lore, you say?
If you didn't see what I did, as I proper move forward. And,
exactly.
That's for the audio. I have to remember this is an audio format as well.
I know. And I was like, okay. So he sent me a video link, and I watched the video, and it just spoke to me on so many levels. So I went and played. Okay, it's free on Game Pass. Now, I started playing, as Pete did, before the Season of the Lost. We were in, I forgot what that
I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah. It was a campaign from a few weeks ago. But it was free, and so we joined it, we did it. Kieran kind of instructed us a little bit, but, you know, kind of left us on our own devices. I got obsessed with the story. Absolutely obsessed. To the point where I am playing Destiny now every day if I'm not busy.